Welcome to the Josh Sadler Show. Glad you're joining us on this Friday night or Friday during the day, whenever you might be listening to. I put it up so people can listen to it before they go to the ball game, and maybe in the afternoon while they're sitting at their desk, they can give it a listen, and stuff like that. As soon as I can get it up there, I get it up there. But I'll tell you what, it's been some good ones this year with you. I tell you, we've had some really good talks. We've had some really good talks in here, buddy.
There's some good talks, but some good football games,
Yeah, good. I'm glad we didn't record some of the talks we had, though.
Yeah,
but
yeah. It's good to visit with you, though, and it's good to talk to the people of Killeen and just let them know kind of how we're doing over here in Kangaroo Land. Man.
You're getting after it. I tell you what, I don't know what to say. There's so many games that could have been the Ruse games, and just points slipped away at the last second and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there talking to a totally different guy.
Well, you're not talking to a different guy. You're just talking to a group that has a few more wins, and yes, it's come down to some plays. I mean, I think there's been, 4 games decided with 7 or less points, and a couple others it's come down to the wire, and so, and even the game last Friday night against Temple, I mean, it was 28 at halftime. We get the ball coming out, and we got a chance to go make it, a ball game, and they end up. It's the third quarter. It's 28-14, and we end up going for an onside kick and don't get it. We got momentum in our favor. We've thrown 2 deep touchdown passes that they didn't really have an answer for. And, we're looking to try to gain some of that momentum back and keep rolling on them. And our defense was playing pretty good at that point in time in the second half. And when we did get that onside kick, it kind of bust our bubble a little bit, so to speak. And they ended up going down and scoring and making it 35-14. And then added one really, really late, but that's the way the ball rolls in that too. So we ended up 42-14 in that game. But another game where kids are playing hard, they're playing well. We didn't execute well enough, which is kind of the same story. And we made too many mistakes. I told the kids before the game that the game was going to come down to who made mistakes and who didn't. And we made more mistakes than they did, and that was the difference in the game, if you want my honest opinion. Yeah. We struggled in some key situations, with certain things, with like onside kick, special teams a couple of times. We had a field goal that we had a bad snap on. Just little things like that you just in those ball games where every little bitty thing matters, you can't make those mistakes. And at the end of the day, that's 100% on my back. I mean, we went back out, we worked extra point team a lot more this week. We've got to just shore up things and make sure that we put pressure on kids in practice, so that when the pressure of the game gets there, we can all handle it. So but that's the thing. I mean, every game's a live and learn situation, and all of our kids got good experience at a different situation. And hopefully we can take some of those teaching moments and turn them into something really good this Friday night against Midway.
Yep, another tough one. I tell you what, man.
Yeah, and they're really good. They're just solid. It's not like you watch them on film and you go, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. They take the football and they've got a really good. They got a P4 running back. I mean, let's be honest. That kid's 6'2", weighs about 200 pounds, and he can run. And he's going to play on Saturday and have a good chance to play on Sunday. But the thing about it is, I mean, yes, he's good and everything else, but around him, they're just real solid. They do things the right way. They execute their assignments. They do their job, and they do it to the best of their ability, which makes them a very, very good football team. And they do it on offense. They do it on defense. They do it in special teams. I mean, it's like there's not really a true weak link in their chain,
Yeah.
If you're going to beat them, you have to go out and beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. And they're going to move the football. They probably lead the state in 12-play drives, if I had to guess about it, because they just take the football and they'll get 4 yards a chunk, 4 yards a chunk, 4 yards a chunk, get a first down, and they'll get 8, then they'll get 2, then they'll get 1, then they'll get 8, then they'll get 4, and it's just like they just methodically move down the field. I went back and watched the game, with them in Harker Heights, and the drives where they were successful were 12, 14, 16-play drives. It wasn't explosive plays, And so, I mean, that's the thing that we've got to do in this game to be successful. Defense is going to have to get them in negative yardage situations and get them in second, third, and long, and get that big kid off the field.
Yeah.
We're going to have to work hard to get them in those situations. And then offensively, we got to hold the football. and we got to keep it away from that big kid, you know. And then we've got to have those 12 and 13, 14 play drives and go down and punch it. You know, we've got to make every single drive come out in points if we can, and that's the whole key to every bit of it. You know, is just playing good, sound football. You know, mistake-free football, complimentary football, offense playing well, defense playing well, back and forth. If one makes a mistake, the other one picks them up, etc. You know, but that's how we're going to have to play football to go out and beat Midway.
So your offensive play calling is going to be similar to theirs, and you're just pounding ground as much as you can.
No, that's not necessarily my style. But we're
Right.
going to run the football. I mean, we will. I mean, we will run the football. We're not going to change our offense and who we are and identity. I mean, we're just going to try to get better at what we do.
Yeah.
And try to just build upon what we've got a foundation of. You know, I thought we did a good job with we were able to actually get kind of more what looked like our starting offense at the beginning of the year back out on the field against Temple, and we were able to.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the first, and I still didn't have all my kids, but it's the first game it almost got there. And so we were able to press the ball down the field a little bit, and got to see some things that I'd been expecting to see all year long. So that's what we plan to do, is try to just build on that momentum that we have from that game, and just see if we can pick apart their little voids that they have in their defense, and just try to move football down the field.
Well, I tell you, it's been a long season so far, but a short season it seems like. I tell you what, it's just quick.
It's quick. That's the thing about it. Nowadays, as we get older, I always heard as you get older, the time goes by faster. But my goodness, football season seems like they're going by in the blink of an eye right now. Here we are in week 9.
Yeah.
And so it's crazy to think about how quickly this one has gone by. And then you start thinking about all the games that we played and all the situations we've been in and all the stuff that we've been through, and it's like, holy cow, that happened fast. And it really did happen fast. It was a fast year.
The never give up ruse, though. I tell you what, never give up.
No, and but that's when you start talking about culture. You start talking about who we are. I mean, that's going to be the piece that we always rely on, is that never quit mentality. And when things get tough, and that's the beautiful thing about the game of football. And that, I'll tell anybody this. Football. Life's not all about football, but football is all about life. And the ups and downs in football, wins, losses, touchdowns, fumbles, the ebb and the flow of the game teaches you so much about life if you allow it to. And the hard part about it is that we live in a society of instant gratification. Where I want my stuff now, and I want everybody to love it and everything else. And we live in a society of likes and all that kind of fun stuff on all the social media platforms. That's what everybody looks for nowadays, and it gives you that shot of dopamine in your brain, and makes you feel good.
Makes everybody a star.
Yeah, it makes you feel good about things, and so when you start looking at like our season and some of the things that we're having to go through, it's that old school grind mentality. We're having to teach these kids that it isn't always going to be good, and that's the way life is. And you can think it's going to be great because of the way social media portrays it to be, and everything. But there's going to be times in life when you're going to get knocked down flat on your face, and you're going to have to find a way to get your butt up. And so, if anything, the thing I'm proud about with these kids is yes, it has not been what we wanted to, and we can sit here and talk about a completely different story, a different football team if we had 4 or 5 more plays. But we're sitting where we are.
Yeah.
And so, we've got to find a way to help our kids understand this is about life right now. And when you're down and when everybody's counting you out and everybody says you're not any good or anything like that, that's when you got to get strongest inside mentally and inside your heart. Yeah. And that's why what I love about football too is yes, it works on the individual in that situation, but it also provides a team so that you can rely on a band of brothers to help you through that. And in life, that's what we're going to have to do.
Yep.
If you try to go on it by yourself, it's going to be a hard road. But if I have brothers that I can rely on and lean on in my toughest times, and I'm there for them in their toughest times, then my gosh, we can make it through this thing. We can get through this thing called life, even in tough times. And then when it gets really good, that's when you can turn around and give back. And that's the beautiful thing about it.
Yeah.
It's just, and that's why I love this game. And that's why I will forever love this game, is because of what it presents. It presents the opportunity for kids to learn about the tough times, to celebrate in the good times, and to give back, after they're done or when things are great for them, and it just teaches us so much about life.
Yeah.
Just a great game.
You did a heck of a job, buddy. You're building young men here, and I appreciate it. The heck out of it, being a citizen of Killeen and being a KISD kind of guy that does games everywhere. I'm everywhere around these kids, and I see what you do with these kids, and that's what makes me so proud to call you not only my coach but my friend.
Yeah.
And appreciate everything you're doing. And I just want you to go up to Midway and just do it. Pull every play you got out of that back pocket, buddy.
Well, we're going to do everything we can. That's the game plan every week is to do everything we can with all we have.
Yep.
And a lot of times things look a certain way when we're trying to do a different thing. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of our kids. I am. I love them to death. And I think that they go out there every week and they're trying to do everything they can to not only do it for their town, for their community, for the school, but for the parents as well. To make them proud. And so I'm just proud of these kids. They're great kids. It's a great community, and proud to be a part of it.
We love you, brother. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, Dan. I appreciate you, and thank you for everything you do for our kids, for our community, for our school. And keep doing what you're doing. And folks out there, keep listening. Keep, if you can, if you think about it, if you have a business or anything, you might think about helping old Dan out. Because he is truly for our kids and helping them get the exposure they need. If you catch him on social media, you'll be able to see some of that stuff, and you also get to hear these, interviews where coaches get to talk about kids. They get to talk about their programs and get to talk about, everything that's going on in KISD and around the city. So, thank you, Dan, for what you do. We appreciate you, and as always, go Roos.
This has been an I-14 Sports Network production, bringing the heat from the heart of Central Texas.